Last year na me started say me bought report in who de ro kire mo say report bi abeka yensa na sa report yi say kwan be mu a ye bedi hu nkomo in the year 2021 ena ekwan ambem ebri ya me ne Ghana fo ekase wo man mu ha ene amanone all over the world ehu aba here say me no obedi sa nkomo e wo report we. This report captures a wide range of accounts, very disturbing, shocking, harrowing, and if you like, a very deep-seated hatred for one another as citizens of Ghana. Report to Emma who said, on my way I'm in Utimono, whom be a otai, ewo minu yentem, and also sono sa otaino, and yema yen to me for Odonia Kruye. Infant now may muma or may yen yeno ma emaya crabbery. It has become very necessary at this very time, given the very circumstances that ye woman as ye disa and come away. And we must all be watchful the times ahead. If for nothing at all, I will tell you that we have been here before. The question remains, how did we get here? Dede no a ye no kasa no a ye kasa ye chichibie no oye nenu a pese ebeto oman we so no. I am saying to you tonight, oh, me say we have been here before. The question remains, how did we get there? Tonight we bring to our listeners and viewers part 1, a report prepared and released by the United States Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, how they nurtured our democracy. And on one hand, used one of our own, ostensibly to destroy the foundation. America Drumekwe, womoye security Drumekwe, obi minimum. Now, we share on my Ghana. Your democracy, they be a yenim. If you free babies, Ghana's democracy by camera, ya febie free Britain, ya febie free America, any idea boom, any idea, America for ya kahon, any democracy, they be a day, could be a day. No more rieno, no more sign by, no more fire, ye mubi, ni pum, or they said, or made it best say. And Anna do won't be group out. Be steady. Tonight, let me seize this opportunity to speak to some few people out there. There are some research fellows, NGOs, CSOs, civil society groups, journalists, political activists, social activists at the front line of this our young democracy, who are apparently pushing hard to see to it that democracy finally arrived. Yes, indeed, it's a good drive. However, may I say, sir, many of you do not know consciously that your effort, your passion-driven, the alacrity, the prowess, and above all, your report many times end up in Paris, in London, and in Washington. The question you ask, report in a kohwa, what do they use the report for? Your guess is as good as mine. Tonight, I'm talking to politicians, NPP, NDC, CPP, PSA, all of you. I'm talking to you people. It's a very sensitive matter. I don't have choice. Nyamin, I'm prepared. We get a copy. And you pese Ghana for tibia yetim ni politicians ni binimnya yetim. Now shadi o. Won se bebre na mo memu a o my Ghana krokiti to yi. Every se me ka kire civil society groups are show memu ha yentumi nkai wom. Wom dodo krokiti to yi. Civil society groups. Enipa mo memu e be a journalist for political activist for bebre eno mugu memu. Ne bilimusu mu lead the more champion the cause of democracy but do you know o report no hini na echo pia wa he e den no omde report no omde ye wo the office say oh boa champion ma democracy aba we a journalist you want no. My question is, where do you always at all times, where do you think your report go to? Omde ye den omube page sika the amount come Africa. One of the fundamental problems of Africa, partly civil society groups. That's why if you read Karl Marx a lot, Karl Marx was against the principles and ideologicals of the influx of CSOs in many countries where democracy. No, he wasn't for it because ostensibly civil society groups are conduits. One way like a special purpose vehicles, many times they use them for a lot of projects. Journalists, Ghana, journalists, if we break or memu how. Woman and some trap all right too. But do you know what? Woman to me tam on my woman ka some my no makotoama. E krubi munye say ne kroniti. Or your journalists, or your civil society, penny, or your NGO, the woman money ni no na or ton e krono the sovereignty of the state. Ne da wa ne ya ton krono. Also last week, me bisa say me very security wise, you know. Me bisa said, dear Bentina, your chip, SIM card no cry ye home registration. Why do you think say ye be the floodgate? Ama foreign entities and aba and omo yes our registration by way of say we secure our fingerprints. Do you know what that means in the security and intelligence world? You know, do you know what that means in this day of the 21st century? Data is very important, crucial. And so here, Ghana, they have access to our fingerprints all over. Now, tonight, baby. For me, I am of the conviction that as long as we want our country to embrace democratization, free speech, fundamental rights of citizens, our sense of patriotism, goodwill, and development must be guided by and informed by our own sense of narrative. Straight away. Because without we owning our narrative, we ain't going nowhere. And tell me I'm lying. The whole Africa, until said, Africa benyan and nine so now paddle for Africa to join the competitive global capitalist economy. No, may say unless we own our narrative. Other than that, let's forget this fight. And tell me I'm lying. And I challenge you out there. Let me give you just some typical examples. Check all the premier universities in this country. Legon, Tech, UCC, and then now go there. Mamefa Legon example. Go to the political science department or check any political science student from level 100 to 400. Check him. And nara are things that were written by not Ghanaians, so were written by Wynam, the Karl Marx and the what? Plenty of them. People are nipa. Adia Yesu school hono has nothing to do with national in character as far as Ghana is concerned. 12th century democracy be a shasi o Europe. 13th century democracy be a chance or Britain. And a political science student for to no musia. And once the man was say can we or can be said to obey Timia Kinkaya. At the end of the semester, I said Branema exams not sure. Exams you see produce the Nipa nature, your understanding of the Nipa nature and one. Sa all through dribble way to level 400. No Kwaku degree, no baby. So you know what? Go and check the public sector. The private sector. There are lots of people. The premier universities in this country, it produces students. All these students are on the job market, yet and no one goes to school and no and job market. Oh no. So have you seen how the nation is gradually destroying the human capacity? The faculty is not in tune with what we are to do. And I'm who's Okosia political science, but I know what the department to be or ministry. Dear Bentia, yes, edumeni ho. Meanwhile, eduma wa mani mo. But educational curriculum no cannot. We are unable to direct the curriculum towards the human capacity development. Any person a railway engineer, what do you think we should do? Go to tech. Na kwashen nyoma a good shelves no so engineers apapebio. Yet all the bridges in this country are being done by foreigners. Even the education, we don't have a sense of our own narrative. And yet, you see a practicing democracy. Now, what artists are in the same way? Ghana, a beacon of democracy. Ghana, gateway to Africa. Ghana, golden age of business. Ghana, beyond aid. Now, you know what? Together with entire Africa, I tell you, sir, we can achieve the fundamental political aspirations, economic goals, avoidance of IMF, World Bank, the Windsors, the Rothschild. You bet me avoid the way now. Avoid all these groups, the Rothschild, the Windsors, and all these charlatanic groups controlling the global political economic power. Will be until Africa would own its narrative against what you call colonialism, neo-colonialism, the imperialist forces, who all the time continue to militate against the progress of Africa. Call it the proxy war against the leadership. African leaderships are they are interested in razzmatazz and the bourgeoisies and whatnot. They are not concentrating on the need to developing one country. No. And these imperialist forces, this whites, supremacists, at the Africa are a rock to mop the floor. Tonight, I bring to you the part 1 of the declassifieds. Report Nini, Yamanam Troy. And let me put to this disclaimer. Any name B.A.B.P will report him. The families of these people or that persona nankasa, you can come to Netu and react. And Yamanam Troy. But I perceive because you know why? It looks as though the history of this country, right from the first, second, third to whatever, the histories of this country, heavily been distorted. But this one, distortion in him. The reason why distortion in him is because they used us to perpetuate this. So now, they are the best writers of that story, and you can't get it twisted. So tonight, I'm giving you the part 1, and the report is approved for release, 2000. And it's December 1964, an event we see here. Or see the truth about Komla Bedema by a non-Ghanaian intellectual, and the report goes. Omu be yimpeni phobia woma serve kuri ene de ma yetia on my way. Tieni Komla Bedema, former finance minister, now at large, embezzled a total of 10,000 pounds sterling of public funds during his term of office. As an agent of the American Central Intelligence Agency, Bedema planned for the launching of a coup d'etat with Bozier's defunct United Party and has been in link with reactionary elements outside Ghana. A pamphlet first published in French and translated into English makes this and many more startling revelations. The name of the writer, a non-Ghanaian intellectual, has been kept secret for security reasons. National revolutions are like ocean storms. They throw up towering waves with snow crests. These are the true revolutionaries, sincere patriots, and historic leaders such as Nasser, Ben Bella, and Nkrumah. But they also bring to the surface deaths and debris which a calm sea conceals. These are the flotsam and jetsam of human society, people without ideals or principals, whose only interest in the revolutions is to satisfy their ambition, thirst for power, and greed for wealth. More often than not, they end in complete moral debacle and betrayal of the ideals of their people, which are alien to them. Unfortunately, like all Flosan and Jetson, they do not sing at once. These people are very dangerous because they are difficult to expose. A man's head is not a pawpaw fruit one cannot break into to see the thoughts inside it, and such people hide their thoughts behind the front of lofty words. They more than others shout about freedom, independence, the well-being of the people, and even the struggle against colonialism. In words, they defend socialism, while in deeds they are out to consolidate the positions of reaction and strengthening dates and the positions of reaction and strengthen their personal well-being. They never act in the open. Once they are exposed, they flee abroad, where they throw off the mask. They send agents to act to their country, hatch plots, and commit other acts of terrorism, and all that for money and power, for power and money. This pamphlet deals with one of such traitors to the national cause. He has simple and charming manners and can win friends among whoever he talks to by his ability to listen very attentively without interrupting his interlocutor or forcing on the latter his own opinions. When you meet him for the first time, you gain an impression that Mr. B.A.B.P is a frank person with gentle manners, with almost correct features and an upright bearing. Only an experienced and an attentive eye will see that for a modicum of time, his face suddenly changes, and cunning and treachery, evil and contempt run through it. But that's only for a fraction of a second, and then again, the sweet smile, politeness, and even kindness emanates from this man who has become the leader of the plot against the Republic of Ghana. B.A.B.P has never been marked for any mental ability. From early childhood, he had been imbibing the odor, medicines, and hard pharmaceutical talk. His father was an apothecary in Nigeria. However, Komla Egbele B.A.B.P failed at the entrance examination at a medical school where he tried to go after graduating from the Achimota College. So he chose the field less complicated than science. He founded a candy factory with the assistance of his father. He was far more successful in this field. However, the rising profits withered the appetite of the young capitalist, and he felt a long for big business. After establishing contact with business circles, he went with their help into lumber trade and railway shipments in the Gold Coast. B.A.B.P did not lack political feeling. When the nationalist movement at the Gold Coast became stronger, B.A.B.P understood that this movement could be used for his own purpose. By the time Dr. Nkrumah arrived in Accra in December 1947, B.A.P was already an active member of the youth movement and a trusted man among the nationalists. It was extremely important for him to become, quote, trusted man, unquote, since this is a basis for any shameless career seeker and grabber, rather by feeling than by understanding. B.A.P realized that Nkrumah was the most probable premier of the Gold Coast, and he went out of his way to become close to him. He was very helpful in establishing the Accra Evening News paper arranged meetings of the nationalist youths in his flat, and even supported Nkrumah when the latter criticized the indecisive conduct of the leaders of the United Gold Coast Convention and founded instead the Convention People's Party. In the new party, B.A.B.P became a member of the Central Committee and later the party's vice chairman. The future seemed so bright to B.A.B.P that he sold his business and invested quite a tidy sum in one of the Geneva banks. He saw himself as at least holding the post of vice premier in the future government of the Gold Coast, and began to look for contact among British representatives, dropping very transparent hints to the effect that quite soon they might be dealing with him as a member of the future cabinet and a man who is a smooth operator in every respect. Quote, the prison graduate, unquote. The British are good experts at planting their agents in the government of other countries, placing their stakes on B.A.B.P. They decided to create a false nationalistic nimbus around him. With that aim in view, they put him in prison in 1949 for, quote, trying to instigate a rebellion, unquote. We do not know the content of the conversation held by the representatives of the British authorities with B.A.B.P in prison. What is known for certain is that very soon B.A.B.P was set free. On the day of his release from prison, the headquarters of the Convention People's Party was raided by the police, while Nkrumah and other leaders of the party were arrested. Since that time, B.A.P calls himself, quote, a prison graduate, unquote. In Nkrumah's absence, he became leader of the Convention People's Party, head of its printed organ, the Accra Evening News, and carried out preparations for municipal elections. It was very strange that in those stormy and dangerous times, everything went so smoothly with B.A.P. It was literally before the very eyes of the British authorities that B.A.P carried on his work for which other people would have paid for their lives, while he, B.A.P, remained unscathed. He even managed to organize regular correspondence with Nkrumah, who was then languishing in prison, and who thought at the time that only he and B.A.P were on it. Ending the part one, the British counted on a very simple thing. He wanted to remove Nkrumah, in whom they saw a dangerous enemy who did not wish to come to any compromise, and creates the semen of independence in the form of a self-governing colony under the supervision of a governor. In this phase, quotes, the prison graduate, unquote, was assigned the post of premier of the ephemeral Gold Coast government. The intelligence service supported this plan and gave him a loyalty certificate. The British authority did not interfere with the B.A.P.'s activities and were by no means abashed when the Convention People's Party won at the municipal elections in 1950. They thought that everything was under control and that nothing unexpected could happen. This is the part one of the United States Central Intelligence Agency's report, declassified. Yeah. I don't know. Document. All of you from day one to when. But let me also play you a tape of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah at the very time when the coup ousted him from power. To see the likes of my free there. Wednesday, I will show you a footage. Start with a free fire, and then now they have to pay some debt. As though they are paying our debts. But people know that the U.S. intelligence agencies of our own to destroy our democratic foundation. Nkrumah.
Fellow countrymen, my heart is heavy as I witness the damage of neo-colonialist conspirators at the bidding of their overseas. They are dismantling the work of 15 years. They are telling you that Ghana is bankrupt. They are telling you that our country is in debt to the extent of some 240 million. Fools they are. How ignorant for them to think that you believe these stupid lies. Open your eyes and look around you. See for yourself. See the splendid new Tama Harbor. See the mighty water dam. See the fine roads which we have built under the leadership of the Convention People's Party and its government. See the schools, the colleges, and the universities. See the clinics, hospitals, health centers, and the facilities which we have created. See the factories which are already springing up. These are no debts. These are not debts. They are investments in our future as an independent nation. These are the physical guarantees of the bright new future which I have promised you and I have been working for. Together, we can put our Ghana firmly and squarely on its own feet. Together, we can create the things we need for ourselves instead of going cap in hand for charity handouts from foreign powers whose only wish is to exploit us and make us vassals to their interests. I know these are hard and trying days for you. I have never tried to conceal from you that real independence, that is to say economic independence, does not come without hard struggle and sacrifice. Unlike the cheats and deceivers, the liars and traitors who are now trying to lord it over you, I have never promised you any easy road. I have respected your good sense, your capacity for work, your pride in yourselves, and your sense of national dignity. Why do you think these traitors, these agents and lackeys of colonialism and of international intrigue to destroy the independence of Ghana, chose this moment to perform their dastardly act? I will tell you. Less than 1 month before they struck to destroy all our hard work, we had inaugurated the first electricity from the water dam. Only 3 days before this treachery, we had signed a new agreement to irrigate the mighty Accra Plains. At last, we were on the threshold of a great new victory. We had in 1957 won our political independence after years of struggle. Now in 1966, we were at the threshold of winning our economic independence. The same people who tried to sabotage our winning of political independence 9 years ago have now struck to sabotage our economic independence and are systematically dismantling our socialist gains and achievements. Before the traitors and the rebellious National Liberation Council tried to usurp power during my absence from Ghana, Ghana was a haven to which the oppressed from all parts of Africa could come to carry on their struggle. It was a haven for freedom fighters, for independence. The name of Ghana was revered all over the continent as a staunch friend of the oppressed. African brothers oppressed were given hospitality. We should be proud that the independence of with a total who came for freedom is indivisible. Back. To seek refuge. This overcome and triumph. It must find
Great. They are mo a mompɛ asomdwe na mo dia ne sɛ aban ebeba na yebetu nego. Reason why I'm enemu tu sa na mo we na making can report we na achiro no is because of the times we are. Your woman is at the times we are in now no. Enya time papa. O mine binya revolution bi nsi yentu abangu gidigidi pawo. But then I make catcher say aha ya ko hopen you. But the ema ye kodru ho no maybe na wonu well media ma metu bi there but ye na so ye sua there. So ti one mo a wotate social activist for and I say never bebre or brand say vemewoyi. What we do know is so of have go and a gen whoever you are, they will write this report such as this. Now when you don't be gu anymore like and then yeah campaign if only be the children. Yes. One more by way no me de gu anymore say. Yeah mouse come wedi. Yeah ma on yama just a whole lot. But me so mu ria won be gu anymore say. Africa need time to do yankasa yedie, the self-reliance, our own narrative, Ghanaians. Ahana mde mubesi. Onyankopon kwaso anon kakai mo. Journalists for mu yo hinted for amuye dwuma foreign agents. Politicians amu wo meimu muye dwuma ema foreign agents. Social activists, political activists muye dwuma ema foreign powers. Beware. A day of reckoning. Enche you'll be exposed. No more expose you so yeah. You do better to declare in Kaibi. Ebi anasa ya bob de mawaha. Wednesday, you better woman has been Ghana Speaks brought to you by Rutai Natural Products. For Bomadiana Cope Droni say now what up. Let's try rate in 2022 and trust in